All right. Just getting a couple things in order here. It's a lot going on. Tweaking the knobs and the dials, you know what I mean? Oh, what is up, everybody? What is up? What is up? What is up? Another Thursday night. Thursday night for the boys. So, got a good show. Got a good show. Always have a good show. Got some good topics tonight to cover. I'm just gonna wait for people to trickle in a little bit, and then we'll get right at it. We'll get right to it. Where's everybody watching from tonight? That's one of the first things I always like to open up the stream with. I like to know where people are watching from. It's so cool to like just have people just pop in from, all over the country. That's pretty sweet. Not gonna lie. We get a lot of people from overseas too, which is pretty crazy. Like people from other countries. I must hit the night owls over there, The night owls burning the old midnight oil. All right, let's see. Do that. Hit this. Turn the volume down a little bit. Perfect. There we go. Yeah, how's everybody doing, huh? We doing good? We feeling all right? Tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow is Friday. So, what's up? How goes it? Is it the layaway? The layaway? Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. How's it going? Where are you from? Where you watching the stream from tonight? Where in the world? We got some topics to talk about tonight. We got some topics. So the first thing I want, one of the topics that's later. So what we're gonna do tonight, the plan, the England. See, I always get people overseas. It's crazy. So I'm in the U.S. So last Thursday, because I go live every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But last Thursday, I had a couple people from Ireland, and then the stream before that, a couple people from Germany. So what time is it over in England right now? Is it like kind of near midnight? 1 o'clock? Something like that? Yeah. All right. So one of the things that I want to talk about tonight. So, here's how the stream's gonna go. Okay. So one of the things that I want to talk about tonight is this DoorDash girl thing, right? I want to talk about that. Then I have two topics that I want to talk about. One is the trend has been going on for a while now, but so I don't even necessarily want to call it a trend. And although it's a social media trend, I'm pretty sure every man that's going to watch this has had his girlfriend ask him some sort of a question along the lines of, would you still love me if I was a worm? Would you still love me if I was a lamp? Etc. Along those lines. I want to talk about that. Then I want to talk about how quitting a hobby, it's not the quitting the hobby part that's the problem. It's the not filling your time with another hobby. That's where I lose the respect for other men when that happens. So, but yeah, before I talk about that, so I posted a video I recorded it last week, but then the video went live. The video went live a couple days ago, and the whole topic of the video was about what would you do, with your life? What would you do if you knew that you could not fail? And right away in the very beginning of the video, I was like, okay, most people think about their career. Like, oh, what would I do for work? And I was like, think bigger than that, right? I'm so disappointed in most of the comments that I got on my TikTok account, because on TikTok, like the video gets chopped up into clips, and then the clips go out onto the social networks. But I was so disappointed how many men answered the question, what would they do with their life if they knew that they could not fail? They all, so not all of them, but so many of them answered like, I would bet the lottery. I would go to Vegas and gamble. And I'm like, guys, the whole point was to think bigger than that, to think bigger than money. It just goes to show, like, man, we got a lot of work to do, guys. We got a lot of work to do. Because, duh. It's kind of like the most childish version of that game we used to play back in the day. It's like, all right, you get 3 wishes. What would your first wish be? I would wish for 1,000,000 other wishes. All right, fuck you, right? Like, put some goddamn thought into it. Put some freaking thought into it, guys. Like, come on. What would you do once you're rich? Like, what are you going to do? Like, with the money, like, you got to spend it a certain way to make you happy. What would you do? Think bigger. Think bigger than just going and earning a paycheck every day. My God. Like, yes, that is important. You need to earn money. Absolutely. But that can't be your sole dream in life. Like, no one dreams about going to work unless it's something amazing. But the whole idea of the video was to think outside of your career. I would put money on roulette. I would bet the house. Like, okay. All right. Yeah. And then you're going to be one of those friggin' super miserable millionaires. You know what I mean? Like, there's actually been, I think, a couple interviews with like older rich people, like, that have been rich for a long time, and just talking about how, like, the whole idea of, like, money makes happiness, or money can't buy happiness, and money isn't everything, but when you don't have money, it is. You know what I mean? So, but there's something to be learned from listening to those older people that have all that money and how miserable they are, because they never had that, like, foundation of what made them happy before they poured money on top of it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I was a little disappointed in that. I'm like, guys, for real? For real? That's it? All right. So the other thing I want to talk about, let's go right to, let me set this up here real quick. I want to kill this music too real quick, because I want to be able to read. I want to be able to read, you know what I mean? Okay, so let me make sure this is showing. Yes, it is. That's my music playlist. All right, make sure this is showing. Cool. Okay. So this is one of the things that I want to talk about. This is just one of, like, the, it's not like even a topic tonight. It's like a bonus, right? This is a freebie. So I don't know. Like, I will fill people in on kind of the backstory of it, but I'm sure probably like quite a few people have actually heard this, right? So there's this girl. Apparently, her name is Olivia Henderson. She's 23. I'll just read it here. I'll just read it. This is off X. Okay. So it says DoorDash driver Olivia Henderson charged with felonies for filming unconscious customer. On October 12th, Olivia Henderson, 23, entered an open door at a customer's home in Oswego, New York, for a contactless, that's important, delivery, and filmed the incapacitated man with his pants down due to alcohol consumption. She posted the video to TikTok claiming sexual assault, but police investigated and found no crime by the customer who was inside his private home. Instead, they charged Henderson on November 10th with second-degree unlawful surveillance and first-degree dissemination of an unlawful surveillance image, both felonies, based on ring footage showing her entry and recording. DoorDash deactivated her account for violating privacy policies, highlighting tensions between gig worker safety and customer privacy. Okay, so when I first heard this, because it took a little bit to come out, and there's a video. Actually, the video. So this is the. Let me see if I can. This is the video. All right, I don't really care to hear about her victimhood here, but let's rewind this. Okay, so she starts off her post here that she blasted on TikTok with this footage here of this guy who is laying passed out with, looks like he doesn't have pants on his couch, right? And then she's like, oh, let me get some clout off this. Okay. All right. So right away when I heard that, you know, a DoorDash worker like saw a man on his couch with his pants off, I was like, you know what? I bet this dude got hammered and ordered DoorDash, right? Because I mean, whenever like I get a little intoxicated or whatever, I usually have my pants on, but sometimes I want a little snack, you know, a little snacky snack. And I was just like, I bet this dude got hammered, had the munchies, and passed out on his couch. That was my first impression. I didn't even see the video yet. And then I watched the video and I was like, yeah, that dude looks passed out on the couch, right? So it's an open investigation. So like not all the details have come out, but there's language that says in like the police filings that it, I guess, apparently it kind of appeared to the police at least. And I guess there's ring camera footage that she like pushed the door open. So most likely there was like a crack in the door. She peeped through the crack, saw this guy, and was like, oh, now's my chance to make TikTok fame by being a motherfucking victim. Swing that shit open. Let me see that dick. Right? And then she's like, I'm gonna film that shit. Probably had to zoom in because he did look a little obese. And then she's like, okay, turn the camera around. Show it on me. I've been essayed. Okay, first of all, it's not even the definition of sexual assault. So this whole victim culture is like the goalpost is shifting. And I don't know if it's the generation or what, but they're like slowly eroding at the definition of these like really extreme words and accusations and like shifting it a little bit. Like let me just smudge the definition of what SA means, and now we're going to go with there was absolutely no conversation and there was no contact, and on and on and on, but somehow it's sexual assault, which pisses me off because the victims are actually sexually assaulted. They get this like looked over. That's because after you hear it like cried wolf so many times, you're like, sure you were. That's not good. That's not good at all. But everybody wants to be a victim and be like, they want that outrage. You know what I mean? They want that outrage. And I've done videos on this in the past, like this like outrage culture. And then of course, like so many women, I don't even know if they all watched the clip, but so many women were like defending her, right? So then she loses her job because even DoorDash knew that what she did was like illegal. And she loses her job. So she makes a post about that. And apparently like TikTok keeps taking down her videos. And I don't know if she's banned on TikTok or not, but basically like she distributed these videos. And the unfortunate thing for that gentleman is we all know that once something goes out onto the internet, there's no getting it back, So in his like DoorDash order, he did contactless. Remember, let's think back to the pandemic here. Contactless with instructions to leave it at the door. So there was no like she shouldn't have been waiting for him to come to the door to answer, to give him his food or anything like that. She should have just walked up to the deck or whatever, the steps, put his food down, snapped her picture, sent it, and went on. But apparently somehow she swung that old door open and wanted to take a peek at that ding-a-ling and then cry about it, So she went out of her way to see this guy pass out. And now I don't know if she doxed him. She might have doxed him, actually. I can't remember. She might have put his name out there. I'm not really sure. But I would assume he has quite a lawsuit that he can file against DoorDash, because that's some bullshit, right? That's some bullshit. It just makes me so mad because there's actual victims out there, and just people are so like, people being a victim is a bad thing, but there's so many people that like want to be a victim so that they can get the clout. And it all has to do with social media too, because a lot of this happens on social media and they don't actually ever go report anything to like authorities. So, because the authorities would usually sift through these things and say like, yes, you were a victim, or no, you weren't a victim. Well, they skip that whole step and they're just like, I'm declaring myself a victim of this crime, even though no officials have also backed me up, and then the internet comes to their defense and they're like, yes, girl, you were a victim. So anyways, I guess the moral of the story is, if you were going to get drunk and you want to order DoorDash, make sure your door is completely closed. Probably lock it too. Then proceed to drinking. Make sure you have pants on. And fingers crossed, I guess. But anyways, that was like one of the first things I wanted to talk about, because I saw that and I was pissed off at first before I even knew that she got in trouble. You know what I mean? I saw that and I was like, oh, I don't like this. And like my adult brain with proper decision making and, rational thought, I was like, something's weird about this, like something ain't right. So, oh man. Yeah, she's a victim. All right. She's a victim. Let's see what the other people are saying about it. I'm curious now. Because Twitter can be undefeated. So, DoorDash driver was fired falsely claiming sexual assault after filming a sleeping customer has been arrested. Oh, Oh, wow. I wonder if she's still in jail. I'm assuming she just bailed out. Now faces felony, yada, yada. Claiming assault is disgusting, really undermines the victims. Yes, that's what I'm saying. He didn't even say a word to her, let alone assault her. She made that accusation to try and get pity. She tried to drag an innocent man down. I'm glad it blew up in her face. Can't wait till the law silences her. Yeah. Be a DoorDash girl. So be a DoorDash girl. Delivery specifically says leave at door. Enter the house. You find a guy naked and you record him on your phone. You cry sexual assault. Nobody believes you. You get fired. You get fired and arrested. Happy endings do exist. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much my take on it too. I think it's quite bullshit. So, I mean, that's just my opinion, but it is what it is. So, anyways, so what I want to do now, so now that I've ranted a little bit about the DoorDasher, I want to react to a video. I haven't seen this video. I think it's going to be a good one, so we'll react to that. I want to get your opinions on it, and then after that, we're gonna go into some topics. We're gonna talk about some deeper stuff. So let me pull this video up. Let me find this. Make sure I have like a billion screens going here. So, all right. So this video is called 5 Traits That Separate Great Women from the Rest. And I saw that and I liked the headline. The guy has almost 100,000 subscribers. There's quite a few hundred likes on the video. So I said, I'd like to hear what this guy has to say, and I'd like to react to it. It's a 15-minute video, so I'm going to put it on like 1.5 speed and see if we can just like cruise through it. So, and also he's an older gentleman, so I feel like I can actually vouch for what he says versus like if it's like a 25-year-old and he's like, she has to have a dunk. You know what I'm saying, bruh? So hopefully we can get something out of this. All right, let's go. Turn down a little bit. Slow down a little bit. It is a great topic. Let's talk about it. I'm ready. Oh, hold on 1 second. Chat's telling me can't hear the video. Oh, why? Why can't you hear it? Give me a moment. I think I know. I think I know. Doing this on the fly. I think I know where it is. Oh, this is like, there's so many things. There's so many things. I think it is settings. Give me 1 second. Figuring this out on the fly. I think if I do that, you're not going to be able to hear me talking, though. That's a problem. So if I go... Just a second, just a second. I want to fix this so we can actually listen to this. Let's try. Did that fix it? Did that fix it, chat? I'll restart it. Okay, did not fix it. All right. Okay, let me see. One more thing to try. I did a bunch of like ways to route the audio the other day, and apparently that was not it. Monitoring off. God, there's like so much stuff here. I think if I flip it back, you're not going to be able to hear me talking. That's my only like concern. It's my only concern. I could try though. I could try. I'm almost positive I know where the setting is too. Give me a sec. Give me a second. I think I know what it is. God, there's like a billion of these things. Let's see. I think these are all inputs. I need an output. Oh man, that's a bummer. Let's see. I'm gonna try this. I kind of don't know if that will fix it or not, but we'll see. This will be the last thing, and if not, we'll just move on. But I want to see if this fixes it. So let me know if you can hear. Does that work better for anybody? Unfortunately, the stream delay is like 20 seconds. So whenever I like try to fix this, I always have to see. That fix it? All right. I'll have to figure that out later. It was just a video, like it was just a video that I wanted to look at, but I don't know. I don't know why. It's set to default. That's all default. Yeah. I don't know. But all right. I messed with those settings. Didn't work. We'll just move on. But now I want to make sure everybody can hear me now. So if you can hear me now, comment in the chat. Because I don't want to be talking to myself here. So I have no idea why that. You know, it's kind of frustrating when you spend like friggin' a whole day trying to make your microphone sound better, and then it's like, oh, hey, we got a viewer from another viewer from Germany. What's up? Stro? I don't know how to pronounce your name either. Stro. We'll go with Stro. How's it going? What's good? All right. So let's just jump into the topics then, because I was going to react to that video, which didn't have any sound, and then I was going to hit right into one of these topics anyways. So we'll jump into that, and then we'll go from there. So one of the things that we do on the stream is I have two topics. The topics they end up becoming my videos essentially. So I'll record it, and then I end up uploading them later to the actual YouTube. So when I do that, I usually take my headphones off. I don't look at chat for a little bit, and then I record my segment, and then I come back and I talk to chat. So that is what we're gonna do. So the first topic, I think the first topic we'll just get right into it. The first topic's gonna be a little bit. I guess it's like one of the more. I guess it's the more controversial one, but we'll see. So we'll see. I'm sure it'll get some people riled up, but it's not too bad. I mean, it's not crazy. I've definitely had more controversial videos, that's for sure. So what I'm going to do here, I have some notes. That help keep me on track, okay? And I'm going to focus on that. I'm going to bang out the video. You might hear me like have to say things a couple times and repeat things a couple times, doing different takes or whatever. But hey, that's the beauty of editing, right? And then after that, then we'll jump right back in, chat with you guys for a little bit, and then we'll move on. We'll continue on. So let me hit my record button. And then we'll go for it. All right, pull this up here. All right. If your girlfriend has ever hit you with one of those, would you still love me if I was a worm? Or would you still love me if I was a lamp? Questions. I need you to understand something. She's not being cute. She's not asking about worms or lamps. She's checking something in you. Something she'll never say out loud. So tonight, in this video, we're breaking down exactly what that question actually means, why it shows up in so many relationships, and what she's really checking for when she asks it. Because it's not a joke. It's a test of commitment, stability, and how much you're willing to carry in the relationship. We're going to talk about why this trend exploded what the question is really about, how men are supposed to respond to it, and also the double standard underneath that nobody wants to admit. So if you've ever been confused by these questions, or you've answered them wrong and didn't understand why she got irritated, stay with me. This is going to make a lot of things click for you. So let's explain the trend, okay? So these videos show up a lot on like Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that. So on the surface, these videos look playful. Would you still love me if I was a worm? But the setup is always the same. She asks, he answers, she records, the internet judges. Men answer logically while women expect an answer to be more emotionally based, but that's like a built-in mismatch. And I think that that's why the trend exists, and that's why so many women like capture this moment, because the question is absolutely absurd, and they know, men being men, we're going to try to like rationally work through the problem to come up with an answer of why we would not still love our girlfriends if they were a worm. I don't know how they became a worm, but you know. So there's that like built-in mismatch that like makes for good content, essentially, right? So this trend is a social media version of a shit test. And a shit test is it's kind of like it's not a kind of thing. It is a red pill term. And it's basically a test that a woman does to check on a man's loyalty or his frame or how steady he is in his convictions or how confident he is. That's what a shit test is. So anyways, this social media trend is a shit test. And it's just a loyalty frame check disguised as a joke. So let's kind of go a little deeper. What these questions really mean when we look at it from that angle. Again, a shit test is any behavior or question designed to check a man's emotional stability and frame. And I'm not going to go into frame. If you don't know what frame is, go look it up. Okay, it's plenty of info out there. So these absurd hypotheticals really mean this. So these absurd hypotheticals really mean, would you still love me if I stopped contributing to the relationship? It's about unconditional validation. If I gave nothing, would you still stay? Is what they are really asking. For some women, it's reassurance. For others, it's checking if effort can drop without consequence. So let's look at how men should answer these questions / shit test. Don't answer the literal scenario. You got to answer the meaning behind it, right? If you sit there and like try to like logically figure out why in the first place your girlfriend suddenly turned into a worm, you should already know that there really isn't a good answer to the question, right? So stay grounded. Say something like, if you're still you, yes. If you stop showing up in the relationship, that's a real conversation that we're going to have. Keep frame. Calm, warm, confident. Don't fold, panic, get defensive. I would kind of look around and see if she's recording you, though, because you don't want to end up on somebody's TikTok as content anyways, but you should know if your girlfriend's that type of girl or not. So, also, humor works. You could say things like, if you're a worm, fine, but if you act like one while you're human, different story. So, basically, the question is, they want the reassurance and the validation that they could absolutely become a non-contributor, no effort, don't bring anything to the relationship, a worm, and you would still love them unconditionally. But there's a double standard when it comes to unconditional love. And as a man, I know this, and as any other man probably knows, it's absolutely true. If you ask them, they're probably going to say the same thing. So let's talk about the double standard of unconditional love. So women ask these questions because they want to believe in unconditional love. Even if I give nothing, will you stay? Is the basis of the question. Men, we don't get unconditional love. If a man loses purpose, stability, or value, the relationship is at risk. Real data backs this up. Men who lose their full-time employment are 33% more likely for divorce within the following 12 months. So basically, if a man loses his job within the next year, if he doesn't find employment again, his risk for divorce goes up by 33%. So that's divorce. And that's like a lot of effort. So now imagine if it was just a girlfriend-boyfriend thing, right? And it's like you don't have to file papers and get lawyers. You're just like, yeah, I'm done, right? I would be willing to bet that 33% would be much higher in those like non-marriage relationships, just like the boyfriend-girlfriend type stuff. So the great Chris Rock actually had a bit on this. It was a comedy piece, but in the it dropped a truth bomb that gets quoted all the time. And it was, only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. Men are loved under the condition that they provide something. Now, the sooner that, as a man, the sooner you come to terms with that, the sooner you can get over the bitterness of that pill. Because it is a bitter pill to swallow, because guess what? We want to be loved unconditionally too, but that's just not how the world works. That's just not how women work. And there's this thing, I think it's called red pill rage, but it's like that stage a man goes through when he is confronted with this truth for the first time and he can't deny it. It's just evident that, okay, yeah, this is not the way the world works. This is not a Disney film. There's a period where men can get pretty angry at how it works, but you can't change how it works. You just have to understand how it works and then operate within there, you know? It's, of course, I have to throw in the disclaimer. Yes, like I'm sure that there is some women out there that are not like this. However, most are. Like, women just don't stick around when you're not providing and bringing things to the table. A lot of it's financial, but if you're not in that situation, it can be, it could be emotional, it could be whatever. But the point is, as a man, we don't have much time to stumble and fall down before we have to get back up again. There is no being a worm or a lamp in a relationship for a man. It is not an option. Our brains don't even think that way, but even if it was, we wouldn't even ask the question because we would know the answer. I don't need to ask, would you still love me if I was a worm? Because the answer would be no, right? So, in closing, these questions sound childish, but the questions are really about loyalty and stability. And once you understand what's actually being asked, everything gets easier. You stop reacting to the nonsense of that surface level question, and you start responding to the truth underneath it. So, what I would say is, no, you should not blow smoke up your girlfriend's ass and say that you would still love her if she was a worm, because the reality is she's never going to be a worm. But if she's a human that acts like a worm, doesn't contribute, effort is at a bare minimum. There's no, I'm not gonna love you if you act like a worm. Right? So don't even like play the game, because there's no winning the game. For one thing, there's no like correct answer like that's gonna make you get out of this scot-free. So you might as well just be a straight shooter and stay with your frame and keep your boundaries and say like, no, I'm not gonna still love you if you treat me like a worm. Why would I do that? Like, this is what I need from the relationship. If you stop providing that to me, then the relationship it's not going to work out. Just like if it was flipped and your needs were no longer met in the relationship because I was showing up as a goddamn lamp in the relationship, you wouldn't stick around either. So we went a little deep on a kind of a silly question, but like it's such a trend and it like irritates me. Like a lot of social media trends irritate me. So I just had to give some like real talk and just like cut through the bullshit. So yeah. Thank you very much for watching. If you got something out of the video, please drop a like, drop a comment, because it really helps the algorithm and gets the video out to more people. So the more engagement, the better. So, and if you're still doom scrolling, check out one of these videos over here, because I'm sure it's right up your alley. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. All right. That one's done. That one's done. All right, chat. That one's done. So yeah, that was the one that I felt like could probably I already know I'm gonna get a lot of hate. I'm gonna get a lot of, yeah, you should love me, worm. I know. I already know. And I already know where it's gonna come from too. When we clip a bunch of clips and it goes out to TikTok specifically, TikTok is where I get the most most anger. The most anger. I don't know what it is. I don't know if that's where the most I don't know, women are or what, but yeah. No, I'm not going to love somebody if they're a worm. No, I'm not going to love somebody if they treat me like a worm. I know my girlfriend's watching this. Don't turn into a worm. Oh, shit. Yeah. That was good. All right, I gotta close that one. We're done with that one. We're done with that one. What does everybody think? What does everybody think about that? Hey, sometimes we have some spicy conversations on here, Sometimes depending on who is listening, it can ruffle some feathers, but I don't care. I don't care. If I'm going to get on here and I'm going to spend my time doing this, like, I'm not going to dull the edges just because it might make a couple people upset, So. All right. So the next one, we'll jump right into the next topic too. So this next topic is more focused around hobbies and the importance of having something in your life as a man that gives you purpose. Okay. So let me hit record again. I'm going to hit this segment up real quick, and then we're done with the topics for the night. So I'm going to record this. You might hear me do a couple takes, yada, yada. But after it, I'm going to come back and we're going to chat about it for a few. Okay. So here we go. Make sure I hit record. I did. Good. All right, here we go. If you run a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu academy long enough, like I have, around over 15 years at this point, you see a lot of men start and a lot of men quit. And I never judge a man for quitting Jiu-Jitsu, but I do judge the ones who quit and replace it with absolutely nothing. In this video, I want to talk about why so many men, so many of us, I'll say, start something hard, walk away from it, and then don't replace it with anything that actually challenges us still. Because quitting jujitsu isn't the problem that I have with these men. It's when they quit growing, when they quit progressing. That's the problem that I have. So we're breaking down why some men stay in the sport, why they leave, and why the real danger isn't quitting the hobby. It's quitting the only hard thing that they had going on in their life. So here's the reality of running a jiu-jitsu academy. I've coached hundreds of students, men from all walks of life. Some stay for years, some stay for months, some disappear after 2 weeks. Life happens. Injuries, work, kids, schedule changes. Listen, I get it. Life can get busy. And I've never judged a man for realizing jiu-jitsu isn't his thing. The issue isn't quitting with me. The issue is quitting and replacing it with nothing. Some men walk away from the one hard thing that they're doing and go straight back to comfort, right? So I'll see these men come in, they're out of shape, they're not healthy looking, and they give me this huge spiel about how they're really going to get into this and they're going to, get in shape and turn a new leaf and all this stuff. And I'm sure that other people in other sports, CrossFit gyms, etc., experience this same thing, right? Especially come like New Year's, when the New Year's resolutions are around and all that stuff, right? So I know that I'm not unique to this, and I'm not the only one hearing it, right? So then after those 2 weeks, they just disappear, and I'm like, yo, I thought you were turning a new leaf. You're ready to get in shape, ready to change your life, ready to make all these changes. Oh yeah, and then they give me insert excuse, and I follow up with them in a little bit, a couple months or whatever. Turns out it's not that they're trying a new hobby or a new sport. No, they're doing nothing, which is why they're out of shape in the first place, So they go straight back to comfort. No discipline, no movement, no challenge, just kind of drifting, just floating through life. Jiu-jitsu wasn't about learning moves for them. It was supposed to be the one thing in their week that actually pushed them out of their comfort zone. Because if staying in their comfort zone got them to where they were, they are going to continue to be that until they step out of the comfort zone and actually grow and change. So, why do men need hard things? Well, we don't do well when we live these soft, easy, comfort-heavy lives. We need friction, something that pushes us, something that humbles us, definitely that part, and keeps us grounded at the same time, which really goes with the humble. Dedicating yourself to something is a form of accountability, to yourself. It forces you to show up even on those days you don't want to. It can be jiu-jitsu, lifting, running, climbing, boxing, literally anything, but it has to be something. And it has to be something you're passionate about, and it has to push you. A lot of times that's because it's uncomfortable. It forces you to grow. Without that challenge, that accountability, we lose direction, confidence, and purpose. What quitting without replacement signals to me. So when a man quits jiu-jitsu, which is basically the hobby that I'm providing to all these men, and they don't go out and try something new, like all those other things, backpacking, skiing, and stuff like that, it signals something to me. It tells me that man is retreating. He's not reassessing what he would like to do next. It tells me he's avoiding challenge. He's not looking for a new challenge. When we drop the one thing that keeps us accountable, everything else in life tends to slip with it. We don't fall apart because we quit jujitsu. We fall apart when we stop doing anything hard. Growth requires pressure. No pressure, there's no growth. And in closing, you don't have to train where I train. You don't have to love what I love to do. But you do need something in your life that forces you to show up, struggle, and improve. Quitting jiu-jitsu is fine. Quitting yourself isn't. And I have a good example of this. So to get a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, it takes about 1.5 to 2 years, typically, right? So I had this student that was making progress in the sport, got his blue belt, and then he started missing some classes and stuff like that, right? And I noticed that he started running more, right? I know, right? Gay. No, I'm just kidding. He's gonna watch this. So he started running more, and it got to the point where he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna cancel my membership. I'm kind of like really into this running thing. I signed up for or I guess it was a 5K at that point. I signed up for a 5K, and I don't want to get injured before the 5K." I was like, "Yeah, no problem." I never guilt anybody into quitting anyways, because that's just bad business, right? But in my mind, I didn't lose respect for him. He was trading the hobby of jiu-jitsu for a different passion, which happened to be running, right? Now, if we fast forward, I think it might be 2 years at this point. Definitely 1 year and some change, maybe 2 years of him pursuing this new hobby. He's running 100-milers, like that's his jam. That's his shit. I can't knock him for that. I respect him for that. So I don't care when people quit the thing that I love to do, as long as they find something that they love to do. That's the important thing. If not, you're just floating through life. You're working, coming home, turning the TV on, watching some sports, eating a whole bunch of food you shouldn't eat, going to bed, repeating, okay? And I guarantee you, when you hit that age when you're in the nursing home and you're just staring at a wall, you have no passion in your life anymore, because we're all headed that direction, you're not going to have any memories to look back on. When you're sitting there, no one's visiting you, and you're staring at the wall in your nursing home, literally waiting to die, you're not going to have any memories to replay in your brain and keep you entertained, because you didn't do anything with your life. So get out there, try things. You don't have to bounce around, try a whole bunch of different things. But do something. I beg you, do something. Because we're all going to end up, if we're lucky, sitting in the nursing home. I want to have plenty of memories to look back on about the things that I tried, the things I achieved in my life, because I lived life. I didn't just last through life. So, end of rant. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Seth. If you got something out of this video, please drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and more than that, please leave a comment. I'm really pushing for engagement lately because the algorithm loves it. So yeah, drop me a comment. And if you're still doom scrolling, check out one of these videos right over here, because I'm sure it's right up your alley. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. All right, chat. Boom. Last topic done. Those are getting easier and easier, to be honest. I got my process down a little bit. So, what did everybody think of that? As you're all sitting there watching me. Listen, everybody needs some downtime, right? You're fully justified to sit and watch me stream every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. outside of that time window, you should definitely be getting after it, making something of your life. For sure. All right. It was about an hour. Usually you go an hour, hour and a half. I got to figure out the sound thing so that we can actually react to videos, because that was, that's part of the stream that I typically do. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here tonight. Fix that sound issue so we can watch things and all that good stuff for next stream. So I will see you all next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Till then, peace.